And now to a very special edition of Fallback. Joining me now, the king of funk himself. We are just living in his empire. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Grammy winner George Clinton, who has led the bands, of course, Parliament and Funkadelic, and collaborated across genres from Red Hot Chili Peppers to Tupac to Kendrick Lamar. His work has been sampled in hundreds of songs that you know. He's now on tour for the final time through this November on the One Nation Under a Groove tour. And another groovy friend of the beat, New York Times journalist Nick Kristof, who served as a correspondent all around the world from Los Angeles to Beijing, a two-time Pulitzer Prize winner, and an expert on humanitarian interventions and human rights across the globe. Thanks to both of you for coming on together.
Oh, delighted. I'm trying to learn some funkiness here.
Some of the funkiness can be shared, right? Funk is something you can learn.
Yeah, you can share it.
This is a dream for us. George, who needs to fall back?
I'm going to say the major record labels and publishing houses need to fall back on blocking the recapture of the intellectual properties of the artists over the years. You know, you get to recapture your songwriters after a certain amount of years. They're starting to block those recaptures. So they need to fall back on that, you know.
And can I double down on your fallback?
Please do.
I think, and I've learned a little bit about music from the great musicians that have come on the show, these industry leaders need to fall back on taking advantage of young artists who are so eager to get a shot that they sometimes will sign almost anything. They don't know what they're signing.
That's exactly, you said it just like I wanted to. I didn't know I had that much time. But that's exactly what I'm saying. And even after you get to the point where they need to recapture the music, they jump in and block that. All these artists that you say that signed those papers that they didn't know what they were signing, they need to fall back on
Nick, what's on your mind?
This summer marks the 30th anniversary of China crushing the Tiananmen democracy movement protesters. And I was there on that square when that happened. It haunts me. And the fact that China now won't even allow mention of June 4th, of that date, or of the democracy movement, that it has tried to erase that history, it is time for it to fall back and honor some of those students and workers I saw who fell on that square that night.
One of the things that cynical people say is, well, who cares? In other countries, especially people in charge, they can do what they want. But why is it you say that actually some of these authoritarian regimes do care about the words and images that go around the world about them?
I mean, the one measure of how much China cares is that any TV in China showing MSNBC right now is going to have this section deleted because they censor anything that can come into the country that refers to Tiananmen, to the massacre there. Yeah. What they've done to the internet underscores that. And, you know, we've seen in other countries, in Taiwan and South Korea, massacres later become studied and become overturned. And at some point that is going to happen to China, and I'm going to see a memorial go up in Tiananmen Square to those courageous students of 1989. And that's a story I really look forward to covering.
Well, amen to that. In a way, both of you are today talking about free expression, which is a human right and is so important to human beings. My fallback is a little lighter. Now, you remember Bob Marley used to talk about songs of freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah?
What's your problem?
Well, we've got something going on with the Trump administration that if you haven't heard about, you got to hear about. You know, fossil fuels are controversial. People think about environmental protection. And the Energy Department under Donald Trump, look at this, is now trying to rebrand fossil fuels as molecules of freedom. Trump administration rebrands fossil fuels as molecules of U.S. freedom. Energy Department trying to rebrand gas. This is a little Orwellian, I think, and it reminds me of Freedom Fries.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
Remember that?
I was thinking that. Freedom Fries.
Trying to reframe fossil fuels. I mean, that is quite a stretch.
And I know this is a branding president, and I know that some of his supporters said, oh, he's going to do for America what he did in business, right? But if what you do in business or policy is just try to hide things with words instead of dealing with them, that's not going to last.
You can reduce carbon emissions, or you can rebrand fossil fuels.
Or if you go into bankruptcy 1,000 times, that's a nice brand, too.
You don't think he was as good at business as he said?
No, not with that many bankruptcies.
What else is on your fallback list?
Well, you know, I'm a painter. I like to paint. And they got this robot out of here that's painting. That's going to become a new thing I'm hearing.
Yeah, he's artificial intelligence, and he gives real painters, some people say, a run for their money.
Yes, I mean, I need to fall back because I painted my shoes here. I got a brand new, I'm just not getting into the art.
Well,
and they're going to make robots do that? They're doing everything else?
You're getting to a deep place. Can artificial intelligence make art, George, do you think?
I'm sure they can do anything you can think about. I'm thinking can be done. Pretty much somebody will find a way to do it. And intelligence, it's copied on the computer. I'm sure they'll find a way to do it. It'll be accepted. I'm waiting on the hologram to come and take my place now.
A little,
when I
Coachella hologram for you?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And now they have robots. You got to worry about robots taking your loved ones from you, your mate. They got all kind of robots in store for you.
Let me tell you something. Nick is a little bit like some musicians where he's a big shot, but he also has a big heart. And you don't always see that together.
Yeah, but it works like that in the funk.
What's this?
This is the new one here.
Oh, wow. All right, these are and this is everybody in the band, too?
Yep, all the different band members.
That's fantastic. Which one should we give to Nick? I'll give you one.
Make me a little funkier.
Give him one of them.
Let me see. Which one you want, Nick? You pick it.
Well, this is pretty funky. How's that?
He picked the funky one, too. He got funk. I'm about to get you another one.
All right.
I like that.
George and Nick, thank you. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.